Hey there, it's Kristen. And before we dive into today's episode, I have a tiny favor to ask. I'm planning some exciting stuff this year for the podcast and my courses, and I would really love your input. I put together a super quick survey. It's mostly multiple choice and shouldn't take you more than a few minutes. Your feedback will directly shape the content I create this year, so I can make sure it's exactly what you need to thrive in your business without the hustle. Because I know your time is precious, everyone who completes the survey gets entered into a giveaway where 2 lucky winners will get a $50 gift card to Amazon or Target, your choice. It's just a little thank you for helping me make this year on the show the best yet. Head over to kristendoyle.co/survey, or you can find the link in the show notes. The giveaway ends on April 14th, so don't wait too long. Hey TPT sellers, ready to see growth in your business? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Savvy Teacher Seller. I'm Kristen Doyle, and I'm here to give you no-fluff tools and strategies that will really make an impact on your sales. Let's get started, y'all. Hey there, seller friends, and welcome to a bonus episode of the Savvy Teacher Seller podcast. I wanted to talk to you about something that has caused quite a stir in the teacher seller community this week, and I'm sure you have probably heard the recent acquisition of TeachersPayTeachers by IXL. As a seller myself, I know exactly how stressful this news can be and how it feels like it has just come out of the blue. But I wanted to take some time to hopefully reassure you a little bit and provide some perspective about what might be going on and how we can react. First, let's talk about IXL. They are a huge, well-established, well-respected educational company. If you're not familiar with them, IXL's platform itself is used in school districts all over the country. Every school district I've taught in has used IXL. They also own some other companies, including Rosetta Stone, ABC, vocabulary.com, education.com, and probably more. So they certainly know what they're doing in the world of successful online education businesses. I know one thing that has frustrated many of us is that we weren't given any sort of advance warning to prepare for this. But I want to let you know that that really is just how acquisitions typically work. In my personal experience, I watched my father's bank go through mergers and eventually be acquired by a larger bank. And when that happens, very few people are usually involved in the actual decision making, and none of those people are legally allowed to talk about it until the entire acquisition is finalized. And at that point, there's a press release. So it really is pretty typical that the press release is the first announcement for any type of merger or acquisition. Change is always unsettling. Believe me, I know I don't like change any more than the next person. It is natural for us, I think, to worry about how this is going to affect our businesses. But the reality with any acquisition is that there are 3 possibilities. One of 3 things will happen. Option 1, and this is the one that we are all afraid of, the new company could come in and make huge sweeping changes that ruin everything we know and love. I know that's where the fear lies right now. But it's also important to keep in mind that IXL did not purchase TPT because they thought they were going to waste their money and it's a horrible business model. Anytime a company acquires another one, it's because they think they can make money on it and they think that it can be successful. So there are 2 other scenarios that I think are just as possible as far as what will happen next, maybe even more possible, more likely. Second option, IXL realizes that TPT works because of its unique positioning and the way that teacher sellers have our own stores and we are all such unique individual businesses, and they decide to protect that. Or the third option is maybe they come in and they love what we currently have going on and they want to protect TPT sellers, but they also have the capital and the technical talent to make the platform better for buyers and sellers and maybe bring to light some of the things we've been begging for over the years that TPT wasn't able to do. That is an extremely encouraging possibility if that is the direction that this ends up going. IXL's CEO shared some encouraging words about his desire to hear directly from sellers about what we need and how they can better support us as creators. And assuming that these words are true and not just lip service, which I think we all hope that they are, then this kind of points toward option 3, where maybe they're ready to invest in some time and some money in making TPT even better. You can read his entire message in a comment that Amy shared on a forum post, and I will link that below this episode. But it is a pretty encouraging comment coming from him, and I am looking forward to hearing more from him on Monday's TPT town hall that they announced, where he will be there along with members of Team TPT that we already know and love. Ultimately, none of us can predict what changes might come from this or how it will affect our individual businesses. But as I was reminded yesterday by a good friend, 95% of the things that we worry about never happen. And all that time that we spend worrying ends up being wasted time and energy that we could have been spending doing something way more productive and something that would help us actually move forward instead of just worrying about these things that never come to fruition and are out of our control anyway. So instead of wasting our time worrying about the unknown, let's try as teacher sellers to stay focused, especially this weekend, on helping teachers and growing our businesses. If you haven't already, I definitely recommend signing up for Monday's webinar, where we'll hear from the CEO of IXL as well as members of Team TPT, and I'm sure we'll get some more information and be able to kind of get a feel for where they are going with this acquisition. But until then, let's keep our heads down and stay focused on our own businesses. We can always deal with changes as that information comes out. As a bonus, since we have the Profit Booster Bootcamp coming up next weekend, starting on the 11th, I am going to add a session to talk through some of all of this and how we as business owners can react to it. That is all I have for you today. I hope that this bonus episode has helped alleviate some of the stress and worry that comes with this news. Keep in mind, changes like these are inevitable. They are out of our control, but it's our reaction to the change that we can control. So instead of heading into a downward spiral of worry and doom scrolling on Facebook groups, let's choose to stay focused on helping teachers and on growing our businesses and try to remain hopeful about this new chapter for TPT. I will drop all the links I have for info on this acquisition, from the press release to the forum post and the registration for the upcoming town hall, in the show notes below this episode, so you can check those out. I'll talk to you soon, friends. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share it with another teacher seller who would also find it helpful. For more resources on growing your TPT business, head to kristendoyle.co/TPT. Talk to you soon.